Hello from Hong Kong. This is Padraig Walsh, who leads the privacy practice at the independent firm in Hong Kong, Tanner De Witt. On the first day after completion, you as the data privacy officer now have a new headache. The business that was a target before has now become owned by you. That means the problems in that business are now your problems. And those problems can include issues around data privacy and data protection. In this short video, I will describe some of the things that you as a DPO should take into account as you move forward from that first day after completion. The first thing you should do is to identify the specific and immediate things you must do immediately in the aftermath of completion. That may include giving notices to regulators, giving notices to data subjects. You also need to review the critical policies that are in place in respect of the newly acquired business. For instance, if a data breach happened the very next day, would these systems and procedures that are in place for the acquired business be sufficient to meet the requirements? These are the immediate tasks to hand. Once you have accomplished that, then it's time to move forward with an integration plan. This is a management process which will be led by the DPO office and a project management team. The purpose of it is to ensure that the personal data and data generally that was the valuable asset in the acquired business can be used to the maximum lawfully permitted purpose and effect in order to reap the maximum benefit from the acquisition. The first step in this is some risk assessment. You can start in this process by reviewing the due diligence report and its findings, particularly in relation to personal data and personal information. This will foreshadow some of the concerns you might have and need to address in your integration plan. You can move forward from there to perform a gap analysis in respect of the processes and procedures of the existing business that you're the DPO of, and comparing and contrasting those to the newly acquired business. Before you implement change, though, you will need to speak to internal stakeholders to understand what the strategy is behind the acquisition and how fully integrated it is intended for the data of the acquired business to be shared with the remainder of the overall group business. You will also need to assess the resources you will need in order to execute and implement the integration plan. The resources will dictate the budget and the timeline, and all of this will need to be approved before you move forward. Once you have decided on the strategy to adopt for the integration plan, then you will move forward by reviewing key documents, policies, and procedures, not just in relation to what comes from the DPO office, but also in respect of the business unit functions and how they correlate to the overall group business. Particular areas of sensitivity will be around employee and HR data, financial data, and also vendor or supplier management control. You'll also need to look at how marketing activities are conducted to ensure that you are in a position to go forward and to assess what level of new permissions or consents may be needed. If the intention is to transfer and share business across the group, you will need to look at processes around international data transfer and how those are applied in the jurisdictions involved relating to the acquired business. You'll also need to understand whether there are data localization requirements in the jurisdictions of the acquired business that might inhibit this. So there's a lot to do, and there's a time frame for doing so, and along the way you will need to inculcate and engender a culture of privacy awareness and respect for personal data in the acquired business to the same standard as you have in the group business, as well as simply extending and applying the group policies and procedures.